Tony G is looking down on 7 deuce suited. Pre-flop, this starts as a very simple spot that turns into a textbook example of how board texture can flip the script.
I raise it, don't worry, it's like a present, it's not even...
Tony G opens with the absolute bottom of the deck. He is trying to win the pot uncontested or set up a bluff later.
It's not even anything.
Come on, Elizabeth. Punish him.
I can guarantee you have the best hand.
It's not even
Vanessa Russo punished me something sweet. That was the sweetest punishment anyone ever received.
Tony bets 2,000.
On paper, this is a dream board for Houston. She still has a big overpair, and Tony has mostly missed.
Don't get into trouble here. This is dangerous territory.
Houston's raise to 6,000 is logical. She wants value while also denying equity to random overcards. The turn brings the Jack of clubs, putting a third club on the board and completing a lot of the hands Houston is worried about. Tony leads 10,000 into a pot of roughly 15,500, and that bet is designed to make Houston's life miserable. The sizing is large enough that if she continues, she is essentially committing to play for a big river pot with a one-pair hand and no club. From her perspective, she raised the flop, got called, and now faces a strong bet on a card that crushes her exact holding. Against Tony's reputation, it might feel like a bluff, but when you replay the hand from his range instead of his actual cards, it is very easy to give him flushes, sets, or queen jack.
It's a sick laydown, but I know I got it through. Did you catch a flush?
I'm qualified.
Are you gonna show me?
I show you one card. I can't show both. That would be unfair.
Oh, okay.
She does.
I gotta mix it up, don't I?
I'm gonna hate you, aren't I? Yeah.
I think
You bastard.
You bastard!
Why?
I had kings.
That would have been the same situation.
Phil Laak is looking down on 7 deuce offsuit. Rast opens to 1,200 with 6-5 of clubs, a perfectly reasonable loose open. It has great playability, can flop straights, flushes, and sneaky pairs, and it fits his image as someone who is not just sitting around waiting for premiums.
Pot, P-O-T.
44 total.
You know, he's 3-betting. We taught him a new word.
We should never have said it near Phil. Now he's anxious to try out his new toy.
Laak 3 bets to 4,400, representing a very value-heavy range and putting Rast in a slightly uncomfortable spot. Rast decides to peel.
I had a feeling that was going to happen.
It is quietly an excellent flop for Rast. Laak, on the other hand, has completely whiffed. 7 deuce connects with nothing but overcards and draws in his imagination. Still, the story he started pre-flop demands a continuation. He fires 6,400, a sizing that keeps his range uncapped and forces Rast to define his hand.
Nasty, crafty Rasty's in there.
Rather than slow down, Laak uses that scare card to apply maximum pressure.
22,400.
Rast quickly folds.
I
Like
showed
a
him.
bull you are, Phil Laak. Just push.
I thought I had the best hand.
Not true,
You probably did.
and not true.
Phil Hellmuth is looking down on ace-6 offsuit.
So this hand counts, right?
Pre-flop. This is classic live cash dynamic between two players who know each other very well. Hellmuth opens to 2,000 with a6 offsuit, which is loose but fits his style. He expects a lot of flatting, plenty of pots played post-flop, and he backs himself to outplay people after the flop.
So you got a nice hand to start with? So?
Esfandiari just calls with pocket jacks. That flat looks passive on paper, but it keeps his range wide and invites the blinds and Tony G to come along with dominated hands.
Can you beat ace-9 offsuit? I know you can, Tony.
I can't. That's for sure. I wish.
He is also protecting his 3-bet range. If he always re-raises jacks, his squeezes become too transparent. The flop comes a really interesting texture for all 3 ranges. Esfandiari has an overpair that loves this board. It is very hard for anyone to actually have a 10, and his jacks are ahead of almost every non-10 holding. Leading 4,400 into the field is smart. He charges draws, gets value from worse pairs, and denies Phil the chance to check back with ace-high.
Where is it?
Hellmuth raises to 14,400, turning ace-6 into a pure bluff. The key is that the board massively favors the pre-flop raiser in the eyes of the table. Phil can credibly represent overpairs, strong tens, or even slow-played monsters from pre-flop. Raising says, I have a real hand. If you just have eights or jacks, you are in trouble.
Good game, you see.
The turn is the three of spades, which changes almost nothing for either player. There is no new overcard to the jacks. The paired 10 is still the central card, and most draws remain the same. Esfandiari checks now, handing the initiative back to Phil and inviting him to keep telling the story. Hellmuth obliges with a 17,000 bet. From his seat, this is the pressure card. Once he raises flop, checking back turn gives up the pot and makes his flop line look suspicious. Betting again keeps the narrative consistent, strong overpair or 10 continuing to charge draws and medium pairs. For Antonio, calling once more is a controlled, professional decision. Folding an overpair to this sizing against Phil would be too tight, but raising would isolate himself against the very top of Phil's range and blow the pot up. By calling, he keeps Phil's air in and keeps the pot to a level where he can still get away on some rivers. The river is another total blink for the core battle. Missed draws have no excuse to improve, and jacks are still exactly what they were on the flop, an overpair to the board, losing only to tens, slow-played bigger pairs, and the occasional creative line.
Sorry I'm taking so long, guys.
Tony seems cool with it.
Phil finally bets 22 grand.
Should get an Academy Award for that one.
And OMG, Antonio does.
Show the bluff, Phil.
Bluff?
That's a nice start for you, Phil, isn't it? Beautiful.
Yes, yes.
Daniel Negreanu is looking down at 10-7 offsuit, but Seiver has raised to $1,300 with pocket fives, and Hashem has called with Jack 10 suited.
Uh-oh, this is Daniel's favorite hand, and it's actually gotten him into trouble in the big game before.
Re-raises on the button to 5,200.
He knows Seiver's range is wide and Hashem's flat is vulnerable. Even though it's his favorite hand, he's trying to play the players, not the cards. This raise is about letting them know that he's going to give them a hard time this hand if they decide to play along.
Scott Seiver is really hoping Daniel has an overpair so that he has the right implied odds to make this call.
Hashem folded, so heads up to the flop. King, deuce, queen. Seiver checks the best hand.
Negreanu knows Seiver could easily have king-queen here after raising and then calling Daniel's re-raise pre-flop. But why would he check? Daniel smells weakness, and that's usually when he gets curious.
He reps, betting 6,200.
Looks like Scott's gonna peel.
He calls.
Hashem wants his cards back.
Six of spades on the turn. Seiver checks.
Daniel still got just 10 high. This is one of the dangers of having a favorite hand.
Daniel does not look like he's about to check. After just calling the flop and checking the turn, Negreanu is probably putting Seiver on a draw or the weak pocket pair he does indeed have. He's thinking, if I apply the right pressure now, Seiver might just fold and give me all the money.
Daniel does fire that third barrel, making it 14,200 to go.
I could justify Scott's call on the flop thinking maybe Daniel would shut down after one bet, but Daniel certainly hasn't shut down.
Seiver keeps it going. He calls.
Seiver's totally stationing Negreanu.
You mean like a calling station?
Exactly.
4 clubs on the river. Seiver checks.
Sick.
Daniel fires 36,000.
Seiver is capped, checked every street, and never repped strength. Daniel has nothing, but he knows Seiver is weak enough to fold. This is a masterclass.
Folds the winner.
Phew-wee. You had me staring. I had my favorite hand. You know what that is?
10-7?
7 of diamonds and 10 of clubs specifically. Can't believe I got away with a bluff.
Jennifer Tilley is looking down on 8-6 suited. Negreanu opens with ace-2 offsuit. That is a light but purposeful steal, using the ace as a blocker to reduce the chance he runs into a premium and leaning on position to realize whatever equity shows up later. Tilley answers with a re-raise. That choice is great against a suspected wide open because suited connectors play cleanly post-flop, deny cheap realization to the opener, and set her up to attack a player who loves to take flops.
It's a little too small, Jen. Phil Laak is going to be upset with you after that raise size because it's too small.
Last time I took advice from you, I lost the tournament.
Sorry.
Negreanu calls rather than four-betting. He keeps her range wide, carries the positional advantage into a pot that is not yet bloated, and quietly pockets the option to turn later cards into leverage, even when he misses.
Okay, now I'm going to do the dunk bet.
It's not a donk bet because you were the pre-flop raiser.
Oh, okay, it's not a dunk bet.
It's a continuation bet.
A continuation bet.
Tilly follows through for a small c-bet. The sizing stresses floats and gut shots and keeps her range comfortably uncapped.
A lot of bad cards come off, then I can just bluff raise the turn or something stupid like that.
You could.
Turn a pair into a bluff. I'm really good at that. It's one of my big things Bill Reynolds taught me.
Negreanu does not have value, but he does have a plan. He calls to float, buying one more card and preserving the initiative advantage that comes from acting last. If she slows on the turn, he gets to tell the next chapter. If she barrels big, he can release cheaply and move on. The texture inches toward the middling wheelish territory that favors the caller. Tilly checks. That single check compresses her range away from very strong overpairs and toward one-pair hands and draws that prefer pot control. Negreanu seizes the mic with a bet. The number is not huge, but the message is loud. He denies a free card to overcards, pressures hands like ace-queen and king-jack that c-bet once, and begins building a story that can arrive at straights and two-pair by the river. His literal hand did not improve, however his distribution did, because the cards he credibly represent improved. Calling the flop to take it away on the turn is classic small ball pressure, and he executes it cleanly. This is the card that ties the room together, and the run-out connects squarely with the very suited connectors that defend 3-bet pots from the blinds. Tilly leads small. That type of sizing often functions as a blocker, a way to name a price with a hand that does not want to face a pot-sized bomb. To Negreanu, that looks like a door left slightly open. He chooses to kick it in and chips. The shove polarizes him to the straights and strong two-pair he has been representing since the turn.
We probably have the same hand. Oh, so sick. You have 9-jack, right?
Would that be the same hand as you have? Because if you did have that and you didn't call by now, it would be a little bizarre.
You're in Jennifer Tilly's seat. You have the straight. Negreanu shoves over your small lead. What's your move, snap call, or an impossible fold? And why in one sentence? Best clear answer gets pinned.
Oh, God.
Oh, you have a 6? You raised me with a 6 out of position?
No.
That's crazy talk.
Tilly folds.
Sara is looking down on ace-deuce offsuit.
I'm gonna call.
She limps the button with her hand being super under-repped, super annoying to play against, because it's technically garbage, but it blocks top pair, and it can still make nutty stuff.
Me and Mrs. Finland right now, heads up.
I believe it's Ms.
Miss, I'm sorry, Miss Finland. All right, let's see a flop.
Ronnie checks the big blind with 8-4 offsuit, which is exactly the kind of hand you want to see flops with for cheap.
10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10.
Ronnie hits bottom pair. Nothing special on paper, but in a blind versus limp pot bottom pair is actually real equity. You're ahead of all the ace highs, gutter balls, and random floats. He leads 15K, and that lead is important. He's saying, I have something, I'm not just surrendering.
You have something?
Yes, I do.
I believe you. I believe you.
She instantly bumps it to 30K. That raise is pressure, not value. She's repping Queen X and basically saying, you don't get to name the price, I do. The thing is, Ronnie doesn't go away. He doesn't 3-bet, he doesn't spaz, he just calls.
Why are you checking?
You raised me on the flop.
Num.
Ronnie just improved from, I kind of have a hand, to, I actually have a monster for this line. Trips in a limped pot is huge because again, she's never putting him on 8-4. Ronnie checks, which is smart. He wants Sara to keep telling her queen story. She obliges by firing 55K. From her point of view, this is perfect. She thinks she already took control on the flop, so she keeps the narrative going. I raised you. You just called. You check turn. I'm still ahead. Ronnie now springs the trap and check raises to 155K. That's him basically saying, okay, I've got it. Time to pay full price.
255.
She re-raises.
What?
Against a lot of players, this ends the hand. People hate facing turn check raises because that's usually the I'm not bluffing anymore line. But Sara does something that tells you how serious she is.
Really, huh? 255,000.
That is not a protection raise. That is, I am not afraid of your story. I'm upgrading it. Now pause there and think about what that looks like from Ronnie's chair. He thinks he's the trapper with trips, and then she snap re-raises his check raise. That's psychological whiplash. At a minimum, she's repping queen with a real kicker.
Ronnie, she's a little better looking than you. We're kind of rooting for her. Sorry,
Yeah,
buddy.
I know.
Maybe even something nuttier. He can't fold trips there, obviously. He calls. But the dynamic just flipped. He's no longer casually extracting. He's now in a leveling war.
All in.
And she shoves.
In Ronnie's spot, what's your move and why? I want to hear from the guys who've actually been in these pots. On your way back from the comments, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Oh my God! How is this happening? I wanted to stay and play with you, Miss Finland.
I understand.
I know I am. I have a 4.
He shows her his hand.
Do you have 5s full or something? Oh, gee. I don't know. How often do you play this game? Do you know I have a 4 here? You know I have trips. I don't know if I can fold this hand. I don't know how you play. I never played with you before. What is going on here? If I fold this hand and they see this fold and you have like king queen or something, it's gonna be the most embarrassing thing ever for me. You understand this, right?
And Ronnie's folded.
Holy shnikes.
Ronnie, you're going to the cage.